My name is Jaden Harlan, and I'm a double major in mass communications and political science. I chose Reporters Without Borders as my topic because their biggest thing is protecting journalists, and I have also looked into going to journalism and thought that it was an interesting and cool topic. Reporters Without Borders, also known as RSF, is an international organization founded in France in 1985. The organization was founded to advocate for press freedom worldwide. RSF is an international non-profit and non-governmental organization that safeguards the right to freedom of information. The advocacy is founded on the belief that everyone requires access to the news and information. The founders are Robert Menard, Remy Corrie, Jacques Mollinet, and Emilienne Juvenal. Its main headquarters is found in Paris, France. A little bit about Reporters Without Borders is they have consultative status at the United Nations, UNESCO, the Council of Europe, and the International Organization of the Francophonie. They are present in 5 continents where they defend imprisoned or persecuted journalists and media personnel, and RSF puts together research and embarks on fact-finding missions to document violation of press freedom. They also have a great deal of diversity and provide information about the media freedom situation worldwide in French, English, Spanish, Arabic, Chinese, Russian, and other languages. Reporters Without Borders has 4 major activities. The 4 major activities are advocacy, awareness, campaigns, assistance and legal aid, and cybersecurity. They are sure to protect the journalists and bloggers in danger. The journalists are given training in physical and digital security. They are also given the option to be provided with bulletproof vests and helmets. RSF often registers an interested civil party in judicial cases in order to support journalists in difficulty, and also provides legal assistance to journalists seeking asylum. RSF also helps countries that want to draft legislation that respects the basic freedom by pressuring governments and organizations. RSF played a major role in the UN Security Council's unanimous adoption of resolutions 1738 and 2222 on protecting journalists in armed conflicts. Reporters Without Borders posts yearly reports and press releases. Press releases are sent out daily about abuses against journalists and about the different kinds of censorships. RSF publishes reports that include the ranking of different countries by their degree of press freedom. As you can see in this picture, the different countries are labeled by the degree of their press freedom. For example, China is a more serious country where the press freedom is more at risk, so it is a darker red. And then other countries as Norway, Sweden, and Finland are darker green, which means that they have good press freedom and they are not at risk. This year's statistics are released from Reporters Without Borders. It is seen that there are problems with the Iranian government right now. The Iranian government are telling their citizens misinformed information about the COVID-19 pandemic. Due to them being misinformed about the pandemic, there is also an increase that they could die because they aren't actually informed as to what is going on. 51 journalists are being held hostage, 61 journalists have been arrested, and in the first 9 months of 2020, 39 journalists were killed. 39 journalists being killed this year is actually the lowest death toll in the last decade. Although we are seeing a decrease, we need to keep on seeing a decrease because this is something that should not be happening. There needs to be more protection against these journalists that are just going out and doing their job.
One last thing is that Reporters Without Borders has called out President-elect Joe Biden to take immediate action. RSF calls for President-elect Joe Biden to act immediately to begin to reverse the damage done to U.S. press freedom during Trump's presidency. During Trump's 4 years in office, there was a steady deterioration of the U.S. press freedom record. Hostility towards the media has never been worse in a U.S. electoral context, which has actually resulted too often in real-life violence and aggression. RSF called on Trump to respect press freedom in the presidency when he started in 2016, and instead he used the office to attack journalists, spread disinformation, and steadily erode the U.S. position of international leadership on press freedom. RSF is now looking for Joe Biden to fix all the things that deteriorated from press freedom during Trump's presidency.